Good afternoon. In this video we are going to talk about the current situation in China. My group is formed by Maria Paula Alfonso, Harold Alarcón, Laura Velázquez and me, Natalia Zapata. Okay, to begin with, I'm going to make a little introduction about what the coronavirus is. What is the coronavirus? These are viruses that emerge periodically in different areas of the world and cause acute respiratory infection, or generally known as the flu, which can be mild, moderate, or severe. The virus is usually transmitted from person to person through the small droplets that are emitted when talking, sneezing, coughing, or breathing. It spreads mainly when people are in close contact, but it can also be diffused by touching a contaminated surface and then the face itself. The incubation period is usually 5 days, but it can vary from 2 to 14 days. The most common symptoms are fever, dry cough, or shortness of breath. Complications may include pneumonia, acute respiratory syndrome, or sepsis. And some examples of coronaviruses are SARS, avian flu, MERS, and others.
Okay, now we are going to talk about the coronavirus in China. So to start, it's important to know that 2019 and 2020 coronavirus pandemic was first manifested as a cluster of mysterious suspected pneumonia cases in Wuhan, the capital of Hubei in China. A Wuhan hospital notified the local Center for Disease Control and Prevention and Health Commissions on December the 27th of 2019. In December of 2019, there was an outbreak of pneumonia of unknown cause in Wuhan, China. And according with the CCDC, on December of 29, 4 patients with pneumonia were admitted to work in a wholesale seafood market in that city, and the investigation began there. After this, on December the 31, the Wuhan Municipal Health Committee report to the WHO that 27 people had been diagnosed with pneumonia of unknown cause. The expansion of this virus was so fast that on January the 30, the OMS declared a health emergency of international concern. And by March 11, the virus was in more than 100 countries, and it was recognized as a pandemic by the OMS. And now the pandemic is having a disruptive social economic effect because the governments, to prevent the spread of the virus, have imposed travel restrictions, quarantines, containments, social isolation, and a lot of activities that people usually made. And a part of this, the fear of supply shortage has to lead panic buying in the people.
And now I'm going to talk about some of the numbers that have been presented China. These are: China is one of the countries that most exports products to the whole world. Due to the current situation in the country, its exports plummeted by 17.2% for the first months of 2020, according to Chinese customs. As a result of imports, there was also a decrease, not too big as at the level of exports. The decrease was of the 4% for the first months of 2020. China presented a trade balance deficit of 7.09 billion of US dollars in March of 2020. Unemployment in China stood at a level of 4.4 in 2019, according to the World Bank. Today, the project rate for May 2020 is that it will fall to a value of 4.8, which shows that unlike the previous year, the unemployment increased. China, over the years, has sought to eradicate its poverty lines. At the end of 2019, it present a reduction of 5.5 million, and for the first months of 2020, it decreased at 0.6%, which China seeks is to raise the level of people living below the poverty line. From March 28, China decided to close its borders to the majority of foreigners. This in order to improve the current state against the coronavirus.
According with the National Bureau of China, here are the economic sectors that were hit so hard by the virus. Ashes in investment that includes construction of buildings, roads, and railways slept 24.5% last month. Is expected to revive quickly as provinces pour money into infrastructure projects this spring to restart economic growth. The isolation high retail sales, which collapsed 20.5% in the first 2 months of the year. Analysts pulled by Bloomberg had only expected a 4% drop. Industrial production, a gauge of manufacturing, mining, and utilities activity, dropped 13.5% in January and February compared with the same period last year. The indicator fell for the first time since a record began in July 1998. Restrictions had affected the supply chain of biggest companies, such as industrial equipment manufacturer JCB and car maker Nissan. Chinese car sales, for example, dropped by 86% in February. Likewise, the value of exports and services production has a sharpest contraction, with 15.9% and 13% each one.
Finally, our business idea is focused on helping people who don't have easy access for food, either because of their economical situation or any factor in general. In addition, it is also a proposal that in turn helps the environment, because since everything will be used in an ecological way, and it is also easily accessible to people.
Vertical greenhouses. This will optimize your balcony space vertically to grow vegetables. It has 5 shelves that collect overflow water and allow row grow. In addition, greenhouse's structure is protected by glass that control sunshine and temperature inside. Furthermore, each shelf has a thermostat and drip irrigation to maintain a correct environment to vegetable growth. And finally, soil, seeds, plants, and pot will be provided by near towns to promote economy. However, other vegetables could be transplanted to the greenhouse in an advanced harvest stage.
Our business idea is going to be of great help to people and the environment. This because people can acquire the product to produce their own food. In addition to the environment, because people are going to produce their own food from home, and it will reduce the contamination of transportation and the generated by the pesticides. In addition, helps people health because the products are harvested by themselves. And for the countries helps too by generating employment, help with poverty, and with the current health situation.